Type sit. Ooh! Sumimasen! 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 Gomenasai! Sumimasen! Gomenasai! Go third person. Is it F5? You must be this tall to order. Mr. Bartender! Ohio! Hold on, let me wear my cute clothes. Oh, look at me! I'm sitting! Oh my god, I'm so cute, little sitting mommy. Yes, I am currently alone. Nobody plays Minecraft anymore. None of us. Oh my god, look at me. I'm so small. Small mommy sitting. I look like a little child. Oh my god, that scared me. That scared me. POV. POV, you're a bottle of wine.
You having apple juice? Mr. Bartender, I'd like some apple juice, please. Please, apple juice. Just a little bit of apple juice. Apple juice.
Hi Nina, it's your favorite jokester V on me. How have you been? It's been a little bit. I hope you're doing good and I hope you're happy. Nice to see you again. I apologize for not being able to watch your stream lately. How dare you have things outside of my stream? Honestly, you really need to get that figured out. Your life is taking up a lot of space in your time to watch my stream, and that is not okay. You need to change that. You absolutely need to change that. It is not. Ooh, is this Pomu house? Wow. Who lives here? Must be Pomu if there's cake. This is so pretty. I want to secretly live in their walls. I want to secretly live in their walls. Thank you so much, Viami. I really appreciate you, darling. I need to say something. So you know how I auditioned to NijiN and I haven't got a reply back at all? I don't think I passed. For the future, I highly, highly recommend. Okay, so first things first, I have no idea about the audition process. So whether you passed or not, I don't see those emails. I don't know. I am not the person to tell. Something you should do though, two things. Number one, keep applying. Number two, don't talk about passing or not passing the audition. All right? Keep that information private. Yeah. You should absolutely keep that information private and not talk about it. And yeah. Just remember, treat this as if the NDA is already in place the moment you submit your audition. Just always remember that, especially with like how much Niji-sanji's growing and how competitive things are getting, you know? So just be careful. But good luck, Viami. Listen, keep applying. What's stopping you to keep applying again? Axia applied to Niji-sanji 5 times until he got in. Apparently, according to a clip of Axia that I saw on the internet. What's stopping you, baby? What's stopping you from applying? I'm sorry, though. I know it can be a little stressful and it can be a little just disappointing in general, right? To feel that you've been applying so many times and you're not getting anywhere. I'm sorry for that. Just take it as a chance to better your content. Take it as a chance to better your content, to explore different content, maybe develop a skill. Maybe you want to learn how to speak Japanese. Maybe you want to learn how to sing. Maybe you want to release a cover song. Look at what other Niji-sanji livers are doing. I do think if you're going to be applying, Japanese is a really good bonus. Singing is a really good bonus. Do you need to be the best singer? No, but if you applied and you also spoke Japanese and you could sing, I definitely think that's something management really appreciates. If you excel at a certain video game, definitely. If you can do some kind of unique content or bring something kind of new, if you can grow other social media platforms just to show them that, you know how social media works and things like that, you have time. Sometimes not getting in could be a stroke of good luck because it gives you more time to improve. It gives you more time to get better at what you want to do. And yeah, keep trying, keep going. And just remember that sometimes if you don't get in right away, it could be even for the better, genuinely. Sometimes not getting in right away could be even for the better. So just remember that. Just remember that. All right, darling?
Okay.
How do you find out Niji Sanji's taking auditions? Usually they post about it on their main Twitter. I would also recommend if you follow like the news channels that do like VTuber news and stuff like that, they'll usually talk about the auditions. I feel like every time there's an audition, people who are into VTubers, they all kind of start talking about it. Another thing I would recommend for people wanting to audition to Niji Sanji or any other corpo, start working on your audition video now. So I don't know how it works for everybody else, but for me, when I start working on a project, the more I work on the project, the better my ideas get. Does that make sense? So let's say you have an idea of your audition in your head. If you leave that until Niji Sanji says, all right, everybody, we're doing auditions, please audition. You might only scramble and have enough time to do the audition and that's it. But if you have time to start your audition now, just do your audition as if you're auditioning. Then when the audition process comes, maybe you can work on that audition even more and make it even better. Consider your audition now that you're doing, even though you don't need to do it, as a draft. Oh my God, Mista's heart? Mista cake? Do-do-do. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-da-bum. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Is it possible to be chosen if you aren't an established streamer? I 100% think so. Yeah, I really do. Is it gonna get more difficult? Yeah. Of course. I mean, if you wanted an easier time to get into Niji Sanji, you should have done it when it was less popular, baby. I think that's just regular, you know, that's just how life goes, right? It's like getting a Netflix original. Yeah, of course, when Netflix was way smaller, it was easier to get in. But now to get to Netflix original, do I think age matters when auditioning? As long as you're legal age, I think it's fine. I think more and more companies are starting to realize that you cannot just have 20 people who create content for the same age demographic and the same gender demographic. The more you branch out, the better. And I think Niji Sanji does that extremely, extremely well, where they pretty much have kind of a VTuber for everybody. I agree what Ice Cream Bones says. I do think now that VTubing has grown, if you are beginning as an indie, you have a lot more resources to draw from and a lot more experiences to draw from. For example, Onigiri came into VTubing without knowing anybody, and she really blew up this year. And you can kind of study what she did. You have that. Before her, you didn't really have that many more people to study. Like maybe you can study how Haruka Karibu did it or Silverveil did it, but there's definitely more VTubers. So there's more people for you to collab with. There's more people for you to grow with. There's more people for you to befriend, to learn from. But I would honestly really recommend, if you want to get into a nice agency, start creating your audition now. And when the auditions open, just improve on your audition. Think of your audition as a CV, and then whatever company you're applying to, just change the cover letter. Right? There's more competition, which means niching into something makes you stand out a little bit more. And I mean, yeah, honestly, I mean, you know, when you say stuff like, oh, do you think a small streamer can make it? Yeah, 100%. I do. Especially if you have a really unique quality about you. Maybe you have a great singing voice and you speak Japanese, and I don't know, you have a great, really amazing voice. Maybe you do something that not a lot of people do. Maybe you're really good at Apex. You know, obviously, the more of those skills that you have, the more chances you have. And if you don't have those skills, I still think you should apply, because you might just be a perfect fit. You might still be a perfect fit for a company Even if you don't speak Japanese, don't draw, don't sing, don't play Apex at a high level, but I do think having some numbers somewhere helps, and or having a skill. The lower your numbers, the higher your skills must be, right? And nothing worth having comes easy, right? If there's a lot of people competing for the same thing, how are you gonna stand out? I think a lot of people who are very, very talented don't do a good audition. And I know this because I've seen a few people's audition. This is why my biggest advice to you, even if you're averaging 10 viewers, 5 viewers, do an audition right now. Every month, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, work on your audition. Make it better. Stand out. Because like I'm telling you, if you only have 2 weeks to do your audition and maybe you're in a bad mood, maybe you're on your period, maybe school's ending, maybe it's summer vacation, you don't have the time to make your audition stand out. Your audition is the first thing that gets you through the door. I would say work on your audition. So then when they reopen auditions for whichever corporate you want to get into or anywhere else, you can remake it. Just keep, it's a draft. I'm really excited. I think it's really exciting and it's fun. It should be fun. It should be exciting for you. It should be something that you enjoy doing. But anyway, I am not the most qualified person for this. I can give you some answers here and there, but at the end of the day, I mean, if your question is, should I apply even if I'm 18? Should I apply even if I'm 69? Should I apply even if I don't play Apex? Should I apply even if I don't sing? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these kind of blanket statements, yeah, you should. Are you gonna do it though? You know? Are you gonna do it? Because it's really fun and exciting to talk about it. To say, well, you know, maybe if I sang a little bit better, then I'd apply. You know, maybe if I averaged just 10 more viewers, I'd apply. Maybe if I averaged 20 more viewers. Maybe if I had a slightly bigger TikTok. Maybe if I had a slightly bigger YouTube. Or you can just apply. There's a lot of people who made it in without thinking they were gonna make it in. And even if you don't get in, try it again. Oxia tried 5 times until he got in. It fails until it works. How do I make yourself stand out? That is a very, very personal question that I unfortunately can't help you with because I don't know you at all. What I recommend you do, I'm gonna be very honest with you, and I just wanna do a disclaimer. I know that sometimes when I have a problem with when I'm honest. I am a very emotional person. So when I give people real, honest advice, I tend to be a little monotone. And the reason I'm a little monotone when I give honest advice is because I don't want my feelings to come into the message. I want you to hear the message without any feelings behind it because I'm scared that I'm going to get emotional and then it can be overwhelming. So please, yes, I'm abrasive. Yes, it's the way I talk. I can't help it, baby. Please, I do not mean it in a bad way. I mean it in a good way. How do I make myself stand out? I don't mean only for auditions, for interviews and assignments. I have a hard time thinking about what differs. First of all, if you feel any similar, and there's no shame in feeling that way, that's something you will deal with for the rest of your life. Who am I? How do I stand out? What are my skills? What am I good at? Why do people like me? Also, oh my God, the sad Minecraft music while I talk about this. I recommend every year you do an assessment on yourself. This is something that I do, usually before my birthday. So this year I did it right before November 22nd. I sit down, I take a piece of paper, and I go, what do I like? What do I not like? Where do I think I'm a good friend? Where do I think I'm a bad friend? What are some things about me that I want to discover this year, that I want to go towards? Because Nina, who is not a singer, will not be releasing 6 covers in 2023. Nina, who says, I want to be a singer, will release 6 covers in 2023, right? So just start there. And I know it sucks to hear, but a lot of self-awareness, that's what it is. It's self-awareness. It comes from yourself. And for me, the way that I've gained a lot of self-awareness is to kind of sit down and think about it, right? You sit down and you think, okay, let's be self-aware. How do I become self-aware? What am I thinking about? Who am I? What do I want to do? And remember, your identity sort of shifts throughout your life. And this is my best example for you is singing, right? If I am coming in here and I am saying I am not a singer, then I don't pursue music. But Nina, who says I want to be a singer, I went to my vocal teacher twice a week, 30 minutes, we're doing ear training, pitch training. 90 minutes a week, we're doing singing. I am committing to 6 covers in genres that I'm not ready for, right? I want to do one of them where it's going to be a cappella, which means I'm going to have to go learn to harmonize with myself, learn to go high up, learn to sing the same note in different octaves to make a fuller sound. I want to release a song that is going to be in a genre of singing or screaming that I don't do yet. So I'm going to have to learn a whole new genre. I want to release a song that challenges me and pushes me to sing in my highest range. Nina, who decides that her identity is I'm a singer, will do things differently. Another thing you can do that is a little bit of a life hack and a little bit of a cheat is you can ask your loved ones. Now, when you're telling me, your fox mom on the internet, Nina, how do I stand out? Baby, I don't know you like that. But you know who does? Your friends, your family, your loved ones, even maybe work acquaintances. And I know it's scary to go up to a work acquaintance and be like, hey, can I talk to you? What was your first impression when you met me? What do you think really stands out about me? What do you think I'm really good at this job? And maybe little things can kind of start helping you form out your identity. And from there on, you can decide, well, I don't want to do this. If your coworkers say, honestly, when I first met you, I thought you were a bitch. I thought you were mean. I thought you kept scowling and being angry. And you can decide, well, okay, I don't want my coworkers to think that. So every time I'm going to come into work, I'm going to have a big smile on my face and say, good morning, everybody. And maybe that's going to change. But I know it sucks that you have to do all this work, but that's just life. If you don't do this, you end up being not self-aware. And I think not being self-aware is fine. We all lack self-awareness here and there, but especially if you're auditioning for a corporate VTubing gig, I think it's really, really important to know who you are and who you're not, because people will try to put a story on you. You're a villain. You're a sweetheart. You're dumb. You're this. You're kind. You're mean. And good for you if the story that they assign to you is a positive one, and anything you do is absolved, and anything you do is like, oh my goodness, she's just so nice. But bad for you if people decide that you're horrible and awful, and anytime you breathe, it's to be mean or be rude or be this. And I hope that you have enough self-awareness in your character, enough kind of understanding of who you are as a person to be like, well, wait a second. Am I those things? Or can I also believe that maybe there's a misunderstanding somewhere? And I know people are going to tell you, don't care about what others think, don't care about what others see. That's BS. We've all heard streamers talk about it, the mental toll that being online in front of so many people does to all of us, positive and negative, right? So yeah, I really think developing self-awareness before you go and you are thrust into the limelight in front of a lot of people will help. And sometimes, you know, your character shifts, your self-awareness shifts, you discover new things in life. Your personality is not static. I think I became a worse person during quarantine. And I don't know if I've talked about it properly, but I think I became a little bit more defensive. I became a little bit more closed off. I became more insular, closed off. I became more defensive. I became a little bit more negative. And genuinely, I think in my last year in this last year in Niji, I think that kind of just kept going, where I really just became so defensive. But then I have friends who during quarantine, they became better people. They became more patient, more kind, more loving. So that is also a thing. Your personality will always kind of shift. It will change around, but it's up to you to sit down and kind of reel it back in and think, okay, well, which way am I going? Do I want to be somebody who's defensive over every little thing? Do I want to be somebody who is abrasive over every little thing. There are some things that, I won't be able to change. Like the way that I talk, it's so ingrained in who I am. When I first met Anna and Millie, they both said they were a little intimidated because when I talk like this, it can be a little scary and intimidating. But now that they've met me and now that they talk to me, they're like, now I can tell when you're saying those things, how kind you are and how nicely you mean it. But, if you don't know me and I talk like this, it's a little intimidating. It's like, whoa, mama, your tone. But it's just because it's the easiest way for me to give you the information from my brain outside of, But yeah, unfortunately, I cannot answer your question of how do you stand out, but that's just stuff that you're going to have to work on. And trust me, once you figure out your strengths and how you stand out, you're going to have to keep doing that forever. You don't just figure out who you are once and that's it forever. Because life is always changing. You're always changing. Things are always changing. Your personality is always sort of malleable. Not everyone is meant to be good at math. The same goes for anything like streaming. I disagree. Not everyone is good at math, sure. You know what makes you good at math? Going to class, listening to the lesson, doing your homework, preparing for the exam. And this idea of a good streamer or a bad streamer is also what makes a good streamer, what makes a bad streamer. I used to think that people whose content I did not like were bad streamers. Because I don't like their content, they're a bad streamer. But that's not true. Even if you don't like someone's content, or you don't like the game they play, or you don't like their tone of voice, or you don't like their attitude, doesn't mean they're a bad streamer. They're a good streamer for someone else. Just because somebody has less viewers doing something doesn't mean. You and I both know so many people who average 50, 100 viewers, 10 viewers, who are probably better comedians, better entertainers, better production value than some of us will ever be. And that's okay. I mean, it's my opinion, right? It's my opinion. How do you know what's good for me? But I think when it comes to content, there's a lot of content out there. Just because you don't like the content doesn't mean it's bad content. It might be good content for someone. C's get degrees, there we go. It might be good content for someone, right? For example, I'm just gonna give, somebody is playing, Crusading Queens 23. And I don't like the game. So when I see them in their stream, I go, that's a bad streamer. I don't like their game. I don't like their stream. Or maybe I just don't like the delivery that person has. Maybe that person is sarcastically deadpan. Or maybe they're a really high energy streamer. You know those ones who are like, hey, what's up, you guys? Today we're going back to the channel. Hey, what's up, Bullet, Andrew, Dizid, Gyro, welcome. How's everyone doing? So I might think, I don't like that stream. They're so energetic. I don't like that. But other people like that. So one thing I can maybe give you advice for is get rid of the idea that content is bad and content is good. Yes, some content is made better than other content. Let's be honest. Your first cover song after 2 months of singing will probably not sound the same as your 25th cover song after 10 years of singing, obviously.
Emotional, damn it!
Your first stream will probably not be as good as your 10th year of streaming, but there's so many variables that come into content and streaming. There's so many variables that come into YouTube and YouTube videos. There's so many niches. There's so many things. Anyone can do anything. Content is content and the rest is preference. I agree. I mean, we've seen paintings being sold for millions of dollars, and I'm sure you've heard it. People go, I can draw that. I think the best way to gauge that is just to compare it to art. I'm sure you've seen some art and you think, I can draw that. Do it. But it's not just art. It's also marketing. It's also so many other things. I will say this. I do believe if you keep creating really good content, it can rise to the top, but you will also need some good marketing behind it. And that's where it's tough. It's tough because people who are artistic might not also be good marketers, right? And it's not just your stream. It's not just what you do on stream, it's what you do off stream. It's the friendships that you make and play together so that you're always in people's psyche together. It's the plan you have for the next week. It's, yes, you're doing a game now, but what game are you doing next week? There's so much in it. But do I think anybody can do it? Yes. I think anybody can be a streamer, even if you look a certain way, even if you talk a certain way, even if you have, I don't know, maybe you don't like the tone of your voice. You can still be a streamer. You don't have to listen to my advice. I'm just a fox mom on the internet, but I am sharing my opinion on what I feel and how I think about content. Sure, you can be awful at math, but, you know, go to class, study, do extra homework, prepare for your exam. Suddenly, hey, you passed your math exam. You don't need to have 100. You just need to pass. It's the same thing for a Niji Sanji or a HoloLive edition. You don't need to be the best. You just need to pass. I genuinely think this idea of doing good content or doing bad content is just not... Sure, I don't want to say there's no bad content because I'm sure somebody's going to be like, but Nina, I found this one streamer amidst 1,000 who's a bad streamer. But in general, I think if the person is trying to stream and trying to take it seriously, I don't think there's bad streamers. People are learning, people are developing their skills. That's it. And I know it's tough because I'm basically asking you to take a chance. And I'm going to tell you this. It's streaming. Listen, I'm going to compare it to med school because earlier today we got a super chat from somebody saying they got into med school. And I said, baby, congratulations, but also good luck. Because if you thought getting into med school was hard, well, shit. Woo! It's gonna get even harder. Now, do I think after you get into a corporate, it gets harder? Yeah, in a lot of ways it gets harder. But in a lot of ways, it also gets easier. Some things get harder, some things get easier. There we go. I do think the question was really interesting and it got me to open up a lot. And then I do have this big problem where I love you so much and I want what's best for you. And when I see people asking stuff about the auditions or like, do you think I'm too young? Do you think this? How do I stand out? I'm like, baby, I need to put my size 15 men's big feet down and tell you, hey, you got this. You got this, baby. Oh, they're coming for me. Can you hear the police? The police knows I'm about to crime. They know.